Back in Queenstown, we join Stu on the streets for a glimpse into how he works and who or what makes for a great shot.
The mix needs to be right, and we need to be getting people that will look interesting enough to be turned into a piece of art, to make a book, make a piece of art on the wall. Yeah.
So if I was walking down here now, do you think you'd be stopping me?
Is your next question, does my bum look big in these pants? Of course I'd pick you.
Right, let the waiting begin.
Yeah.
Let the selection process begin.
Let the selection process begin. Let me know if you see anyone stuck. Nah.
Finally, something that he likes the look of.
Okay, so face me again like this. Yeah, and lift up a bit. Yeah. That's perfect right there, bro. That's awesome.
Earlier this year, in a break from documenting peace in 10,000 hands, the couple had a fundraising exhibition at home. The first time Stu's images had ever been seen by the public.
It was the first time we'd really shown the world our hand in terms of these artworks that we were creating, and to have had such an amazing response was really probably an enormously moving moment for me, because you're really bearing it all and you put yourself out there to be judged, and people responded really genuinely, and there was a lot of emotion that was expressed.
Stu and Semele were also given the honour of producing the film for this year's Illuminate exhibition. Their images projected grand scale onto the side of the Auckland Museum in celebration of World Peace Day.
Peace to me means to be able to live freely and not have to worry about anything.
In terms of an endorsement, it was incredible to have a curated museum show to project onto one of the biggest and most beautiful, cinema screens in New Zealand. Was incredible, and now that we've got that in the can, we feel very proud.
But there's no question, Stu's proudest moments so far enlisting the support of the Dalai Lama and getting him in front of the camera.
We were told where to wait, and we waited. And
what's going through your mind at this point when you're waiting for the Dalai Lama?
Focusing the camera. That was all that was on my mind.
Were you doing a few practice runs?
I was practicing. I never practice anything. I always just go and do it. But I was practicing, and I knew that it would be a fraction of a moment of time if it happened to actually get the photograph. So the moment came when he was walking out, and a gentleman that has been on security detail with him for 26 years steered the Dalai Lama in our direction and spoke to him, and I handed the rose to the Dalai Lama, and he blessed the rose and he blessed me. Then he posed for his photograph, and then he left.
Looking at that image now, what does that mean to you, and how important is that image, not only to you personally but to the project?
The Dalai Lama really stands for a lot of people as the ultimate in a peacekeeper, understanding, tolerance, love. I think that when I look at the image, I am emotional that we got the image. Obviously, for him to choose to hold this object and be photographed with it was incredible and a huge endorsement for us.
While celebrity support has certainly helped the project gain momentum, Stu says peace will always firmly have its heart in New Zealand.
This is a global project that's been taken to the world by a couple of Kiwis and been predominantly supported and funded by Kiwis. And that's the way we want to keep it. This is a project going to the world from New Zealand.
And you can't get much more Kiwiana than this. Mike Mee's family has been farming land underneath the Remarkables for more than 50 years. He's not too fond of having his photo taken, but when Stu asked, well, he couldn't say no.
If you can look at the rose for me, mate, and just think peaceful, happy thoughts. Awesome. Welcome to Peace in 10,000 Hands.
Right, very cool.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Next on Stu and Semile's hit list is Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He's already agreed to hold the rose, but Stu's plans to visit Africa are on hold due to the Ebola outbreak. You've never thought this is just all too hard?
No.
I'm too tired.
No, I have been tired. No, never. There were times when the situation that I needed to get into was challenging. There's been times when I have been tired where I haven't quite have enough money, but I've never ever thought for a moment about giving it up.
How proud are you of what you and Semile have achieved over these last couple of years?
That's not a very Kiwi question, is it? To ask a Kiwi how proud they are of what they're doing. I think that I think we are proud of what we're doing, but for me this is still all just part of the journey, and there's still a lot more work. There's a lot more gritty situations. There's a lot more challenging people and environments that we need to deal with to get to the end of this trip.
To do something with our life that has the potential to leave the world even just a tiny little bit of a better place. I don't really think there's anything better that you can do with your life.
It will take Stu and Semile about another 5 years to complete their journey, but we're in no doubt they'll get there. They hope to eventually make money from the project, with proceeds from sales of the artworks donated to charity. You can follow their progress at www.peaceinten10,000hands.com.